because you've become the face and the voice and that behind these community meetings. So was it those thefts and that motivated you to get involved?
Yeah, it was the theft. It was because when you're not personally affected, you tend to be a little bit stronger than other people. And so I would watch my neighbours, my beautiful neighbours, and they were like the walking wounded. And on top of that, they were getting their stuff nicked. So not only did they have to drag all their personal belongings out of their houses because it was completely flood damaged, then we had people coming and taking that stuff without permission. And when they started putting roadblocks up down our street, and we're talking the community did that, and at midnight, my husband would do a shift and then someone else would do a shift. And I was looking at that going, this is so wrong. Someone's going to get really hurt. And why should these poor people that have been vulnerable have to go out and protect us? Where are the police? Where is the army? And so from then we heard the police minister, not the police minister, Commissioner, Andrew Costa, say that nothing to see here. There's no spike in crime. It's business as usual. We asked for a few demands. One of the biggest ones was get the army here. We need the army, we need the army, and I'm still saying we need the army. The second meeting we had, which was then time for them to tell us what they'd done, especially on policy, because in a natural disaster, crime should be number 2 as a priority, right after rescue. So straight away, the army should have been deployed. We should have had police from all over the country. And sadly, the police minister lost his portfolio, so he couldn't really say much. But one thing he did say is that the army didn't get deployed because it would make the police look weak. And he said that to a whole room full of victims. Got pages and pages of examples of crime. A lot of people going onto properties at night time with torches, seeing who's there, people coming and videoing to see which houses are vacant and which aren't. When we had the very first crime meeting, one of the houses behind us, which is in Pahutakawa Drive, flood affected. There was a ute parked up the driveway that the owner of the house owned, and flood affected, and the mag wheels were stolen off it. You just have to drive around the areas and see all the cars that are sitting on the side of the road with no tyres anymore, because people have said, well, we can take those. I'm concerned about crime, but I'm also concerned about intimidation. Because in broad daylight, it was interesting because Samantha Hay was in our area. This is in the early days of the cyclone. She was in our area doing a story about looting. And so she was speaking to someone down the end of North Shore Road. And while that was going on, a carload of thugs drove down our street and was doing the rounds. And all the tradies came out and blocked them in because they were up to no good. And this is what's happening in broad daylight. And wouldn't let him out. So the police were called and the police could do nothing because he hadn't done anything at that stage. There's been...
So who's doing the intimidation? Are they gangs?
I don't think you have to be too intelligent to work that one out.
So they are the gangs?
I'd say so. I'd say so. They're not all wearing their patches, but yeah, I would say so. But I don't know that for sure. The police would know that. We've asked for statistics. So other things that have been taken, I mean, houses have been broken into while people have been there. Now that's actual. That was one of my neighbours. And the woman was so traumatised she couldn't go to work. So there's a lot.